I'm just going to do this really quickly, because before I lose the light of the TV, the bullshit about me. Oh, we can't live around people. Yeah, I can. I've lived most of my life in the city, and I'm from Sydney. I can't stand the country, and I can't stand country idiots. I'm not from the country. There's all these bullshit stories made up. I'm going to rush this through because I want to quickly do this video, just to get the facts out. This has been monitored and surveillanced. So basically, I played a prank on idiots from 2016 to 2018. I was lied about in 2015. End of story. There's no truth from 2016 to 2018, pretty much. These idiots deliberately, so it's a deliberate monitoring and surveillance. And I deserve to be compensated for those damages. So it's a 9-year deliberate. So we're talking about deliberately monitoring someone, prying into someone's life, and surveillance. Now, so I reacted to that basically because it is deliberate, so it's compensatable. So there's none of this bullshit story that's been going on for years, and now it's gone on for the last 9 years, and it's fucked up. So everyone says, "Oh, he doesn't speak to these people and so forth." It's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to because the last 9 years, all the information in relation to myself should have been gathered from myself, because you've got idiots that look at my mum's side and they make up stories and go, well, why doesn't he look like his mum's side or have the same interests? Like it's absolute rubbish, bullshit, and gaslighting for 9 years. So it's why I ended up just going, fuck this shit, and cancel the green card. It's like, seriously, you can't just keep this behaviour going towards me. It's fucked up. And you cost me money. I'm not stopping till I get my money and assets back. I'm not putting up with these idiots. Like New South Wales Police, even mental health organisations and other groups and organisations. It's like, you're fucked up. For 9 years, you kept causing trouble in my life. And the family members that were actually asked to put a stop to it, I want nothing to do with it. So that's Amanda, my twin sister, my mother, Carol, who got a phone call from me on the 19th of December 2015. And I said, this is what's been said. It's not true. This is how a situation was twisted around. Can you help me get the truth told? She wouldn't, because then she can't benefit and gain from it for herself. My mother's sister, Miriam Mahowski. So I don't want nothing to do with them. They're fucking scum anyway. So the truth about me comes from me and only me. I can back it up. So there's been stuff said, about me knowing other languages, about me drinking coffee, like all this stuff. It's like, And I'll tell you who's one of the wankers that started it. A fuckwit from my high school, Anthony Wood. Because he asked what nationality I was. And I was like, but I'm Australian. But if you want to know where my look comes from, it's Dad's father. So Stanley Fleming was an orphan. And on my dad's side, we often say Italian, Lebanese, Maltese, Greek. Who knows? Because that's what he looks like. And that was said. And that was taken the wrong way. He goes, personality disorder. I'm like, no, I'm just telling you exactly what was said. And as per what his brother-in-law, my nan's brother, which is Uncle George Hill, said, Uncle George Hill said that the lady who raised you, I remember my grandfather Stanley really well, which all these Tamworth people don't realise that I know my family. They're like, how do you know this? They're just wankers from Tamworth, to be honest. They're just country town wankers that are born and raised in the country. And that's all they are. They're just fuckwits. So basically it's like, but I grew up with my great-grandparents. Like my great-grandmother, my great-uncle, my grandparents, my grandfather. So that's why I know it. I was with these people. Anyway, Stanley Fleming and my twin sister doesn't have a clue because she was always with my mother. So Stanley Fleming, which is Dad's father, because I'm a Fleming, not a Rackley. I'm going to do this really quickly. Stanley's the one that had dark olive skin, thick black hair, looked very ethnic. So the lady who raised him is Edith Kavanagh in Botany Bay. And his brother-in-law, so his wife's brother, my uncle, I asked him, when I was living in Surrey Hills, he came and stayed with me. And I said, look, so what nationality was Pop? And he said, Justin, Uncle George goes, Arabic? And he says, because we don't know. He said, we don't know. He said, but I'll tell you this. He said, there was another guy that was raised by Edith with your grandfather, with Stanley Fleming, with Pop, and he was Maltese. He said, but you know what Uncle George Hill said, I'm pretty sure that Edith got ethnic orphan boys, and they come in from wherever they came in from, shipped them for the boats as orphans from Europe. So the Kavanagh family might have record. of where your grandfather came from. So the Kavanaghs from Botany Bay, which we're long dead now, might have record of where Stanley Fleming came from. But we don't know as the family members themselves. But that's where my complexion comes from. That's why I look the way I look like, for starters. Other languages I learnt throughout my life, and I lived in an ethnic area. It's fucking simple. And so the wankers in the last 9 years grabbed all this information from dickheads from where my mother lived. And I'm like, but you're an idiot. Because where my mother lives, she moved there with her second husband. So my mother completely changed her lifestyle around when she moved. We're not from a lifestyle like that. We don't know a lifestyle like that. It's got nothing to do with us. My mother just decided to change her way of thinking, her lifestyle, what she did completely around when she moved with her second husband. And that's it. It's that simple. Like, it's so fucked up the last 9 years. And these wankers, they sit back, it's like, but you're going to pay me the 9 years of damages. And if it goes past this year, it's 10 years damages. And you can sit back and say, no, you want all you like, but the organisation's responsible for this gaslighting, which is an extreme force of abuse. So I've been abused badly for 9 years since 2015. You're paying for it, you fucking losers of people. Like, I typed up a massive, huge stat deck related to my entire life, family heritage, history, upbringing, where they're from. Even, that's right, because I told Anthony Wood, I said, and as for Nan's side, Nan's great-grandmother's French, because Nan's great-grandmother was French. So Bridget Dufresne was French, Nan's great-grandmother, Lola's I'm talking about, and Lola's great-grandfather was Irish. So that's Matthew Joseph Ryan. And Nan always, that's why Nan said her grandmother, Julia Sayer, or Julia Ryan, she married a Sayer, is French and Irish, because her parents were French and Irish. So my Nana Lola, her great-grandmother was French and her great-grandfather was Irish. And then her grandmother would be French and Irish because she's from, that descendants. And her grandfather was English. That's where it goes, the heritage. Anyway, they're fucking losers of people. It's like, seriously, I said the truth. You gaslighted me. I've typed up a massive, huge statement and everything in that statement, the stat deck, I've supplied a document that backs it up of proof, whether it's French in high school, Latin in primary school at St. Aidan's in Broody Hill, in west suburbs of Sydney. Everything's got, okay, I've made that statement. There's a document that backed it up. I've sent it to a barrister and said, okay, in this, I want you to go through this stat deck. And he's like, it's 30 odd pages. I'm like, yeah, this is what I want you to go through to make sure that every single piece of this has enough evidence, supporting documents to back it up, so I can take it to any court, whether it's in America or Australia, and say, that is gaslighting now for 9 years. You owe me 9 years of damages for extreme abuse. You've just caused extreme abuse towards me that I don't think I can recover from for 9 years. From 2015 to date, that is extreme abuse, and I've never received so much torture, trauma, and abuse in all my life before 2015. Honest to God, I have never ever received in any timeline of my life this amount of abuse. So in any timeline before 2015, there is nowhere near amount of abuse, torture, or trauma in any part of my life before 2015 as what has just come after it. So you have just tortured, traumatized me, and committed abuse continuously for 9 years since 2015. There is nothing in my past prior to 2015 that would ever amount to the amount of damage you've just caused me. This is a legal matter that those people, groups, and organizations need to be held accountable and responsible for.